Hi guys, Dennis here from Denny Bob's RC. I got a friend of a friend that's having a problem with their DXR2. Somehow they have gotten the controls completely out of whack. The only way that the ripper or the blade or anything will raise, it will go down on its own, which, yeah, it'll go down. They all go down. Don't need hydraulic pressure to go down. But you do need it to raise them up. And the only way he can get power or the pump excites is when he's driving it. So something's out of whack. I'm going to go through the way I have my radio settings done, and just kind of I took some pictures of some drawings of all the settings and whatnot, and I'll share them here. And hey, don't bash on me too hard. I'm doing this pro bono out of the kindness of my heart. So, and I'm taking time on a Sunday afternoon when I could be doing something else. So, I'm just trying to help people out here. So, don't bash on me too hard, because guess what? The way I got it set up works just fine. Works for me. May not work for you. Works for me just fine. So, here we go. Well, this is the way I have mine set up. I actually, with all those pictures I sent you, is the way the radio is set up. The stick mode, what the auxiliary channels are all set to. But see, mine does not have lights, but it does have sound. So, basically, like this switch here does absolutely nothing. But if I had a light kit, this would turn my lights off and on. And that is the SWD switch. But let's go. I have my tracks mixed on this stick the way I think it should be. Now my blade is mixed with the pump on this one. So when I pull up, the pump turns on and goes down, and then I can, when I want to tilt the blade right to left, it's a little bit slower, but if you're doing real slow dirt work, you don't need real fast blade reactions. Now, if I want to do my ripper, I have to actually turn the channel 5 SWA switch on, and I only have it set at like 35%, and then I have my ripper is on the VRA dials, because the ripper is not something I use a lot, and I don't like to run the pump any longer than I have to. So that's the way I have that set up. And then mine has the sound, so one down. We'll start it, bring it back to neutral, and then it will stay running, and then it accelerates with that. So I don't know how his is set up. I'll flip that back down again, and then that shuts that off. I know one thing, I have to have all these switches up, and then like the sys switch goes up is the horn. But with this, the way this is set up with the sound, when I shut the radio off, I have to flip all the switches up. Then when I turn the radio, or when I turn the radio back on, all the switches have to be up, otherwise the alarm will go off, and then I have to flip this switch to the neutral, because otherwise as soon as I plug in the battery, my horn is on. So hopefully that kind of makes some sense to you. And I don't know how much experience you have with an i6S radio. Just a minute here. Okay, I had to unplug the radio because I can't get in to do any of the setup on the radio while the machine is on. Some of the setups won't let me do it. You go into the menu, you go down to you'll go over to System, and it'll be stick mode. Okay, I make sure mine is in stick mode too. Okay, I'll go back. Now, go back to function. Now, if you want to get into your, here's where you get into your reverses. And I think I sent a picture of all this to you. Which ones are reversed, which ones are not reversed. The endpoints. Now I have channel 3 and 4, which is basically the forward. I have that turned down to 50%. That way it slows the forward motion. It's at 120% in reverse, so it'll go faster in reverse than it will go in forward. Channel 5, which is the pump channel, I have, when the pump is on, it's only at 35% of the speed when I turn this on. It does not need to be at 100%, because that pump will scream at 100%. Okay, so that's all my percentages and set rates, or whatever you want to call it. Go back to that was my endpoints, my return, my reverse. Scroll down and you'll get to mixes. Okay, there's my mix 1. I sent you a picture of this. It's not go through real good with this. I'm getting a little glare on the screen, but this is mix 1. This is the mixing of the drives, which is basically for that stick. The left hand stick is channel 3, 3 up and down, 4 side to side. And then I turn that mix, basically turn it on. You'll have to click on it and turn it on. Mix 1, channel 3 is the master, channel 4 is the slave, negative 100, negative 100. And let's see. Okay. Then go to channel, then I'll go to mix 2, and it'll be channel 4 is the master, channel 3 is the slave, offsets 0, negative 100, positive 100. Okay, this is just all the mixing of the drive. As long as he has not messed with his placement on all the servo plugins on the receiver, as long as he hasn't changed anything, this should all work. Now, if something's been messed with, that's a different story. Now, I got my channel 3, my mix number 3, I should say, is number 1, which number 1 is this channel, back and forth, is the master. The slave is the pump channel, which pump channel is the SWA, it's channel 5. Okay, and my offset's 0, negative 100, positive 100. And then, because that's, and then we'll go to channel, we'll go to mix number 4. Mix number 4, we have channel 2 is the master, which is up and down on this stick. Number 5, which is the pump, which is the slave. And then I have negative 100, positive 100. Okay, that goes through the mixes on just how to drive that stuff. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty much covering everything. When you want to get into your auxiliary channels, there's your auxiliary channels. That's on the function screen. You know, it's got the endpoints reversed. You just got to scroll down and find your auxiliary channels. Now, auxiliary channel 5 is SWA, which is SWA, SWB, SWC, SWD. This dial up here is the VRA dial. This dial is your VRB dial. So if I go to channel 5, that's the SWA. Channel 6, SWB. SWC is channel 7. Oop, I got it. I'm trying to do this. No. Okay, channel. Yeah, you gotta watch what you're pushing. I'm trying to do this through the radio and look through my screen on my phone. Channel 8's the SWD, which actually my SWD, it does nothing, and my SWB do nothing. Those are just open channels to do stuff. This is my sound, this is my pump. These two channels are still kind of open, so I can do my when I want to do lights and whatnot. Okay, so channel 10 is the VRB, channel 9 is the VRA. So hopefully that kind of helps make sense. I don't know what else to tell you. And then you can back way out and lock your screen again. Mine I got the lock turned off, so sometimes this you got to hold to unlock it. So, but I have my lock turned off. Makes it easier for me to go in here and show you what I'm doing. But if you needed information on how to go do that and shut that off, yeah, these radios actually are pretty easy. The system, RX bind, you got your models, your output mode, stick mode, throttle mode, stick adjusts, brightness and sound. You can turn your screens. That turns the sound way up, or you can turn the beeps way down. I don't like them really loud, so. And then you can turn your brightness of your display. And then you can just drag and click that. So I'll put that back at like 50. Come on, that's good enough. No big deal there. But well, hopefully that kind of helps you make sense. I don't know how he has his set up. I do my stuff just a little different. Now, I know from the factory, most of these radios were set up for the VRA and the VRB dials up in the upper corners were set up to drive the tracks right and left. And then I know like up and down on one side did the blade, up and down, the other one did the tilt right and left, and then you did side to side on this or that, and it did the ripper tilt and lift, and that was too god-awful confusing as far as I was concerned. So this is the way I have mine set up. Works for me, may not work for other people. There may be other ways of doing it. I'm sure there is. There's more than one way of doing this, and this is the way I do it. It works for me, and it works. So can't prove me wrong on that one. So anyway, hope that helps. Catch you later.